Hey everybody, welcome to the summer of 2023, where we're dealing with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde at the same time. So as you guys know, Mercury goes retrograde about 3 times a year for 3 weeks. Of course, we're in the shadow period for 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. So at this point right now, we are going to be starting to definitely feel the effects of Mercury retrograde. We've been in Venus retrograde for a while, and Venus retrograde doesn't happen quite as often, but it is just as important as Mercury retrograde. Of course, Venus rules different things than Mercury rules. So that's going to be the big differentiating thing there between those two planets going backwards. I don't, even though I'm an astrologer, I don't allow the stars and the planets to totally consume and control me, but I do base decisions on the planets. Honestly, I won't travel if I can help it during Mercury retrograde. If I'm going to do a show, I try not to do it during Mercury retrograde. Everybody knows that about me. I look at that, the ephemeris, before I give the go ahead to do something that has to do with travel or communication. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You can't always, wait for the planets to change. This summer, because of the work I do, I see definite themes with people, with clients. Everybody's having a little bit of a difficult time in some certain areas. The main difference between Mercury and Venus is our romantic relationships, it's beauty, and it's also our money. Okay, so whereas Mercury, that's going to be communication, as you guys know, and travel, and technology, all the things that happen when Mercury goes retrograde. So I wrote the other day about this, but I'm tired of writing right now, and I feel like it's better for me just to talk. So I do sidereal, which is Eastern astrology. I study that. I also study Western astrology. So I do combine the both together. They are different. Vedic is very interesting. Indian astrology, is really fascinating as well. You have to learn about the nakshatras and everything else. So but I do have a basic understanding of it because I'm a Western astrologer. So to me, it's, a little bit easy to navigate into that, although it's a lot of research and a lot of study. But astrology is something that you literally never, ever learn all of it. You will never learn. But what I want to warn anybody about until about September 15th is because these two planets are going retrograde, to not make any rash decisions. And that's regarding love, that's regarding work, that's regarding anything. But here's what happens when Venus goes retrograde. You're either going to have people from the past come back, similar to Mercury, but this might be more definite, like love relationship people coming back. Whereas Mercury, you just run into somebody you knew 20 years ago at the grocery store, You're going to have, with Venus retrograde, you're going to see some of that. Also, a lot of times relationships are going to end. And here's why, because it's probably time for them to end. It's the way it is. Venus, when it's going backwards, we're going to be dealing with issues that we dealt with before. And so the important thing is to not second guess yourself during this time. Like if you are dealing with issues with somebody and you just can't handle it anymore, like you just can't, and you want to end the relationship, it is time to go ahead and move on. Now, of course, everybody's circumstances are unique, but I see this with a lot of people going on. And because if we don't fix it or whatever, it's going to happen again, right? And we can't control and change other people. So if we don't jive with somebody, it's best just to move on and find somebody better for us, more of our type, our genre. The other thing I want to say is about getting into new relationships right now. I'm going to warn you guys to go ahead and take that slow. I'm not saying if you meet somebody, don't give them a chance or whatever, but really, really take your time to get to know somebody, because a lot of times when you meet somebody during Venus retrograde, it's almost similar to signing a contract during Mercury retrograde. A lot of times those relationships are short-lived. So you want to just be on the side of caution with that. Venus retrograde is a great time to figure out where you've gone wrong. A lot of times I see, because I've had the same customers for 15 years, we all kind of get caught in little cycles and subconscious cycles of behaviors and maybe attracting a certain type. Now during Venus retrograde is a time to be like, okay, what am I attracting and why? And once you know that, you're going to be able to attract a different type, So once you're aware of what you're doing, once you get into that subconscious 12th house part of you, you can really start to make the changes. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs in the end of October. This is, those are the nodes of the moon. They aren't planets per se, but they are extremely important. This is in sidereal astrology. Again, we're going to be feeling these changes around September, mid-September-ish. So there's going to be major changes for the next 18 months. We have like cycles, themes. So the moral of the story is there are new things coming. I just ask that you guys, for your own benefit, kind of reflect right now on your romantic relationships. Please don't make impulse buys. Please don't. I don't even try to get my hair trimmed during Venus retrograde because they'll probably take too much hair off. Things just don't go the way you want them to go, basically. So as far as beauty, as far as finance, as far as relationships, we got about a month, you guys, left of this. So like Mercury retrograde, reevaluate, redo. Right now is the time to relax, not be impulsive. Try to be as patient as possible, although it's hard with these planets going retrograde. And if you're making a decision in a relationship that you don't feel like is going to work out, odds are you're right. Because what's going to happen is the next time Venus goes retrograde, the same issues are going to crop up. And with Jupiter in Taurus right now, some of you are going to be starting a new relationship really soon too. So we have to kind of get rid of the old in order to embrace the new. All right, thanks so much, you guys. Try to just do your best the rest of this summer. It's a rough one. Thanks so much. Bye.